Hayaatun, you're the CEO of the Royal Academy of Engineering, and Alice Khan, you're the winner of the Royal Academy of Engineering's Role Models competition, for which they invite members of the public to nominate inspirational living engineers. So these are massive achievements and titles, so well done and congratulations. Thank you both for joining us here. Hayaatun, I'm going to start with you. Public visibility of engineers in the UK, it's relatively low. Why is this?
Yes, so engineers are hidden enablers of almost everything we take for granted in the modern world, from the smartphones that have now become extensions of our brain, to the transport that I use to get here, to the fatless clean water when you turn on the taps, to the medical devices that help us to be diagnosed and treated in hospitals. But actually, we don't notice the engineers behind all of that. And I think that's for two reasons. One is that it works. So we can just enjoy the benefits, the creature comforts that we get from all that hidden engineering without ever having to worry about it. And then secondly, in the UK, we have a particularly narrow and outdated visual shorthand for who engineers are. So we still default to the hard hat and high-vis jacket that really does not do justice to the incredible diversity and breadth of modern engineering careers.
Alice, please tell us your route into engineering.
So when I was in sixth form at school, I was doing maths, further maths, physics, and absolutely loved maths, was going to go to university and do maths. And a teacher said to me, have you considered engineering? And I thought, well, I don't want to fix cars, so why would I do that? And then as soon as I started to explore it a bit more, I realised engineers do all sorts of things. It isn't just about fixing cars. And I went to Cardiff University for a week, and they showed us every type of engineering that there is. And based on that, I decided I'd go and study mechanical engineering at university. And then I specialised in manufacturing and management alongside that. And the rest is history.
Hayaatun, what is the Academy doing to attract women and minorities that are underrepresented?
So we have a long-standing engineering skills shortfall. So we just don't have enough engineers in this country, and that's been the case for many years. But alongside that, we have this really stubborn diversity deficit. So today, our engineering profession is made up of 15.7% women, and obviously that lags far behind many, if not most, other sectors. Alongside that, there are other aspects of underrepresentation, certain minority ethnic groups, disabled people, for example. So it's not a surprise, therefore, that for the Royal Academy of Engineering, tackling this is a real priority. And at the moment, our focus is on National Engineering Day, which we've created as a national awareness day, an opportunity to celebrate and talk about and shine a light on the engineers who are powering our lives, unseen, unnoticed. So it's our chance to really show who are these people and what do they do. And so we've run a role model competition. So we invited the public to nominate living engineers who've inspired them. And we commissioned the brilliant artist Kellyanna to produce a digital artwork for the 5 that we shortlisted. And then, of course, very excitingly, a special sculpture to represent Alice, who was our overall winner.
It's rather wonderful. I saw your eyes light up then, Alice. How do you feel about having a statue?
It's a very surreal thing. I don't think I've properly taken it in yet.
As well as having a very small percentage of women within the industry, there's also a retention problem, isn't there?
So I think there is a real problem with retention. It can feel like quite an inhospitable culture. I feel like I'm quite lucky that, having worked on the COVID vaccine, I feel like I've really earned my place. But that's taken me until I was in my 40s to get to that point. I've experienced a lot of sexism, some of it overt, some of it not so overt. But as you get older, you think life's too short to put up with this. And I think part of the reason there's a drop-off of women mid-career is that they don't want to put up with it anymore.
Given your experiences and advice that you've given there, what else would you say to young women, especially those from underrepresented backgrounds, for example, who might be considering a career in engineering?
Firstly, it's an amazing career. You can do almost anything with engineering. I think it's a very rewarding career because for me, you can really make a difference. I think the other thing I would say is get a mentor. There are lots of women in the profession who are proud to be engineers and who would love to support women and underrepresented groups coming through. The Royal Academy has a mentoring scheme, and so does the Women's Engineering Society. Each of the engineering institutions do. So there are lots of places. But go and ask somebody and say, tell me about your career as an engineer. I don't know many people who wouldn't be really willing to share that. I think that as an engineer, you can get a real sense of purpose from what you do, because you are fundamentally solving problems to make a difference to the future. And to me, that is the main reason I love what I do. I feel like I'm having a real influence on the future and making it an important difference.
What inspires you?
I'm currently working on a couple of vaccines for Ebola, which is a cause really close to my heart. My younger sister Polly was a doctor. She unfortunately died by suicide in 2021. But in 2016, she went to Sierra Leone, worked there for 3 months as a doctor. And I remember saying to her, you really should go. You have the skills. Work are giving you the time to go. Why wouldn't you do it? So when I was approached to work on a vaccine for Ebola, those words came back to me and I felt like I had to do it. And I have a really clear sense of purpose. I feel like I'm supporting my sister's legacy, but also I'm making a difference to people who otherwise are likely to die from such a terrible disease.
Thank you both.